All right, so War 5, we're looking at Quake, Herc, and Human Torch bands. All right, so Boss Island, starting off with Null. You've got Wiccan, you've got Molman, and you've got Fury. Gallon back there, probably get away with Hood and Symbiote Supreme. Quicksilver back there, Fury, Elsa, Corvus, Chavez. You've got S99 and Ghost, Kitty Pryde. You've got Nimrod and Omega Sentinel. Can even use Silver Centurion and maybe even I-Bomb. Hyperion, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and S99. Korg, Ghost, and Kitty Pryde. And then Gore there, Rintrah, Symbiote Supreme, and Hood. 1 through 3 on the way out. Guardian, you've got Null, you've got Cosmic Ghost Rider. You've got a few options for that. Path 1, you can use any heal block option or sick and tired option for Immortal Hulk, and then for MODOK, you can probably get away with S99 Titania, Mr. Negative building to Special 3, so plenty of options. Path 2 there, Wong, S99, Titania, Ant-Man are all options. Path 3 there, you can take it all with Null, you can take it all with Nebula. Those are probably your top 2 options as well, or Corvus, of course, and then Corvus for Guardian. 4 through 6 on the way out, Rintrah, you've got Kitty Pryde and Mr. Negative. On the way in, Scorpion, you've got Jabari Panther, you've got Ghost, you've got Archangel, you've got Shang-Chi. Path 4 there, Shang-Chi for the whole thing, Fury for the whole thing, Moleman for the whole thing. Path 5, Penny would probably go Hulkling, maybe even Gallon, or any of the Penny usual Penny counters. And then Nova, you've got Kitty Pryde, you've got Tigra, you can even use Magneto. Path 6 here, War Machine, Nimrod, just kind of punch through. 7 through 9 on the way out, we have Hulkling, you can use Hood, Symbiote Supreme, Wiccan, Rintrah. On the way in, we've got Fury. You can use Kitty Pryde with an Odin pre-fight. You could use Havoc. Path 7, you can use Warlock for the whole thing if that Kingpin's got willpower. You can use Omega Sentinel or Nimrod for Domino. And then you could probably get away with Bishop for Kingpin. You could even use someone who's buff immune, like Ant-Man, S99, and Titania. Just take a little bit. Path 8, Omega Sentinel, Nimrod for War Machine for Sauron, and then for Icarus, Rintrah, Wiccan, Tigra, all options. And then Path 9 out here, Hulkling thing for that Magneto, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider, Havoc for Arcus. All right, taking a look back at section 2, paths 1 through 3 on the way in, we had a Man Thing, you have Mr. Negative, you have S99, you have Titania, you have plenty of options. Just look out for his regen since he is duped below 50%. Middle minis, Mordo, you've got Archangel, you have, I'm sure you can use Cosmic Ghost Rider, I've been seeing that. S99 is also an option. Doom, you've got Ghost. You could use Kitty with an Odin. You could even use Anti-Venom and avoid the shock phase. 1 through 3 on the way out. Omega Sentinel, you've got Nebula, you've got Gallon. You could maybe risk Hulkling if you want to. Path 1, Bishop, you've got Warlock, you have War Machine, you have Ghost. Path 2, Man Thing, any of those buff immune, so S99, Mr. Negative, and I know he's not buff immune, Titania, even Ant-Man. And then Path 2 there, Hulkling or Gallon. And then Nebula if you need to use one for Nimrod. Apocalypse isn't banned, so if I didn't mention Apocalypse prior to this screenshot, Apocalypse is definitely an answer for much of this map as well. 4 through 6 on the way out, Killmonger, you have Apocalypse, Kitty, Omega Red, Path 4 there for Maw. You can actually use any of the buff immune like Ant-Man, Titania, and S99. It's just going to be a slugfest, so probably Titania is your top option. Path 5 there, Thing, Omega Red for the whole thing, or White Magneto for the whole thing. Path 6 there, Mephisto. I heard Havoc is working properly with the heal block, so Havoc or Warlock. 7 through 9 on the way out, Cersei, you have Symbiote Supreme or Hood. Path 7 there, you can Kitty the whole thing, or you can Kitty long shot and then use Cosmic Ghost Rider for Terex. Path 8 there, you can Symbiote Supreme the whole thing, you can Rintrah the whole thing, and then Path 9 there, just a Havoc, so Warlock or Nimrod or Ultron, plenty of options there for that. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 5, we have an alliance called Warriors of Light. Today I will be taking in Titania, Shang-Chi, and Mr. Negative. I have Path 4 in both sections, and I don't have a mini boss. Titania coming in for very specific matchup, but I do have the shared fights into section 2. All right, so the only fight Titania got brought in for was this Maw here. With insult to injury, it's pretty hard to get to the point where you can reliably parry heavy. So the idea here was that she's buff immune and that you have the haymakers for easy opening. So I'm going to use the haymaker here to just go ahead and combo and then throw the heavy, and he somehow resists an unblockable, but it's fine. We end up knocking him down with the second hit. And then from here, it's just constant combos ending with light, so we can add the debuffs. I didn't need that extra light there to get closer, so it's fine. We're gonna have to work around miss here in a second, because Haymaker is not gonna come back soon enough to put him out of focus. So going well so far. What I planned on doing was getting to special 2 and then using special 1. And there's actually one point in here that I'm not as aggressive as I probably could be. And you see there, I'm retaliating special 1s with heavy attacks. That's where I figured I was gonna get my knockdown opening. There's our first special 2. Now we have the physical vulnerability debuff placed. So now we can really start laying into him with more damage. But right here, probably should have just built to special 1, especially with the haymaker, and then thrown the special 1. But I was too worried about getting this special 1 out, and the reason I didn't do haymaker into heavy is because he can still throw that special 1 while I'm heavying, and I just end up wasting haymaker as an easy opening to knock him down. So I just kind of wait my time, wait for falter to expire, and then heavy retaliate, even though I ran out of all my passive furies at that point. But it's fine. She overpowers him pretty easily. And that's kind of the nice thing about her. The haymakers actually create openings where there probably aren't any. So that's why I ended up going with her over Ant-Man, who's another buff immune champ that I have on my roster. So pretty smooth fight, if you ask me myself. If you ask me. So yeah, moving on. Shang-Chi's first fight. Got Power Snack here. The game plan with this was to play slow, parry heavy the entire time until we were ready to throw special 2, and in that moment we probably wouldn't have to throw the slow wushu. We would just go cleanse wushu into special 2. Since it is Power Snack, I was trying to get a good feel for pushing him to special 2 and not getting a special 1 out. I didn't want too many debuffs. And you see here, he just kind of flirts with that special 2 line, and I decide to take the bait, and he doesn't actually come in to attack, so I can't trigger dexterity. And I end up pushing him to special 3, which isn't great at all. Luckily, I invulnerability boost. So I don't take damage there, and I don't take this either, but I do come out of that stunned. So it was a little risky. Decide to cleanse here since slow is on, go into special 2 so that we can reset, and you see most of him is gone. So proper boosting kind of saves us here, and the fact that Shang-Chi just hits so dang hard. But here we managed to push him to special 2 the right way, and we're not actually going to get another full wushu off before he gets KO'd. So it's a pretty straightforward, pretty easy fight. Ghost and Archangel definitely can do that fight pretty well without having to deal with Power Snack. Spam. So game plan here, kind of the same as Scorpion, but since the node can go unblockable, what we do have to do is wait for spam to turtle, which can be hard, and do a stun Wushu into his block. So I'm going to parry, get the slow early here, longest duration. Now, since I'm still not dealing with unblockable, I parry into the stun Wushu. He throws special one right away, really nice, but now he's unblockable. So here's where we want him to turtle so we can stun him and then get an easy, heavy reset so that we can keep placing fresh stuns. So here is where the fight kind of gets sketchy. Not this fight specifically, but just if you're fighting spam on this node. If he does not want to throw special one, this fight can go south pretty quick if you get cornered. And just the way his animations work, you end up baiting a lot or dodging a lot, trying to bait out a special and end up getting yourself cornered. So here's an example. I think not this one here, probably the next one. We end up with our back to the wall just because of the way he is. He's throwing heavies because he thinks you're still in range for him. That one I actually did on purpose. Said, hey, let's just stun Wushu him. He's pretty close to getting knocked out. It worked out. He didn't get pushed to special 2, and then boom, down goes spam. So Shang-Chi definitely an option. It's just the spam AI that makes it interesting. We move on. Surfer here, I'm actually going to take him with the boss up. The idea here is to cleanse Wushu, stun Wushu, heavy reset during the stun. Once I am unblockable, it's to reverse the 2 Wushus, get the stun Wushu, get the cleanse Wushu, heavy reset. Now you don't actually have to reverse them if Surfer is sitting there with a special attack ready, because you can retaliate that special one with a cleanse and then go ahead and stun him and then heavy reset there as well. But you see here, I'm a little aggressive here at the start. Now I'm going to bait out a special. We're going to wait for this debuff to kind of expire before we go crazy again with Wushus so that we can actually do some damage. And now that we're at special 2, we have to wait out this debuff. So I don't dex back in on this special one like I usually do. Just kind of take the space he's given me so that I can work off this debuff. And now that it's going away, I'm going to stun Wushu. I'm going to cleanse Wushu into special 2. And that's all it's going to be. We're going to rinse and repeat this strategy. Now here I'm a bit too close to dex this special 2. It was somewhat intentional just because Surfer, same thing. That light after a medium, he just does not want to throw that special 2 from time to time, or even a special 1. But once I felt I was too close, I went, oh no, I'm going to end up eating this special 2. Anyways, we're back on rotation. We're safe. This is Shang-Chi's last fight, so even if we do take a bunch of damage, it's not a big deal. We're not potioning up afterwards. He's just got to solo this. And as you can tell, it's going well. So we're at our second special 2, same thing. We're going to wait for that debuff to fall. Luckily, the time it took in baiting it kind of ate up its duration, and down went Surfer. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. My last fight is actually a new one to me, but I've recommended Mr. Negative taking this Rintrah before. It is rank 3 and it is unduped, so that helps a bit because we don't have to worry about the power gain he gains from preventing buffs, and he's not as tanky as a rank 4. But the game plan here, and I decide to PS1, is to parry when I can, but heavy retaliate his heavy and heavy retaliate his special 1 when I can as well. I'm just going to keep him in the middle of the field and knocking him down. I got the first set of dark energy, got to 8 light and converted that. Decided to do it before he had a full bar, so it would count as an intercept. So now we're going to do some damage here as we build the special 3 in our second set of light. This right here is a perfect spot, so I'm going to heavy retaliate, and then I'm going to build some more light with some parries, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to build one more set. Okay, now I'm going to evade counter since I'm at a max technically, and I don't want those expiring. Full combo to take some health off, and then I throw the special 3 while I still have the Fury. And he's a tanky boy, so it takes the last tick to KO him. So felt good to take that for the first time, but that was the end of my war. Our BG ended up beating their BG 3-25, so pretty lopsided there, and then or even more lopsided here for the win, 92-7. So pretty easy win. Still need to get that death count down, especially with who we were facing. It's pretty high. But, you know, victory that makes us 4-1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and give it a like, and I will catch you guys at the next war.